I think that's great. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much also for taking the time to learn and hear with us about the work that is going to be done around the Digital Innovations Pavilion at COP28, and as well all the events and the projects they have already going on. So we're going to hear now from different people involved in the field of digital innovations, including Miro Polser, which is the founder and director of GLOCHA, which is an initiative for involving youth in digital innovations. As well, we're going to hear from Jen, which is the YOUNGO representative from the Finance and Markets Working Group. And yeah, we're going to be hearing as well from, we were going to be hearing from Alexei, but he was unable to join us because everyone's already going crazy with the COP preparations, you know how busy these times can be. And we're also going to be hearing from Melissa, which is going to be joining in a few minutes. She's going also to be a youth partner and youth representative at the Digital Innovations Pavilion, because the goal of this year is to showcase what we can do around digital innovations on climate action, but to involve youth in these aspects. So right now we're going to hear from Miro. Please, could you tell us more about this amazing work?
Hi, everyone. Greetings from Austria. It's a pleasure being with you. Thank you very much, Erika Janine, for having organized this initiative. We are very happy about this cooperation with YOUNGO and with you personally, because we believe that together we are strong, and that empowerment of youth, of young people, that they can contribute meaningfully and rewardingly to global and local climate action. This is the key to success. This is the key and the pathway towards a climate safe future. And thanks very much for having enabled and organized today's event. So let me start with a general introduction, somehow our logic, how we see the world, how we see global challenges, and that you then better can understand why we are hosting a Digital Innovation Pavilion at the forthcoming UN Climate Conference COP28, and where we see opportunities for collaboration with young people, and especially those young people who will be attending the COP. So okay, it's not, here we are. So the point is, we have the climate crisis and other global challenges as global challenges. That means all of humanity is affected by these global challenges, and this means that all of us need also to be aware and take the right actions and contribute to the fight against these challenges. And this is not possible automatically. There are many people out there on the streets and in the universities, in the businesses, in the cities, who would like to contribute to these global efforts, but they don't know how. And therefore, we have the UN system, and we have the Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Agreement on global climate action. It's our compass. Has defined where we aim to get to, but somehow this global goals don't translate into local action and impact. And therefore we need innovation on several levels, in several domains. And it is a combination is needed of new thinking and cultural innovation, the understanding that it starts with me, with my city, my local community and region. And then there is a need to have social innovation, public sector innovation, that we there cooperate better on local and global level, and that we set up the coordination and incentive systems, and that we build new types of communities. And then the third innovation dimension is digital innovation. We have now at our hands very powerful digital tools especially Web3 technology with blockchain technology, Internet of Things in combination with artificial intelligence. It has so much power, which could have this fight against the climate crisis so much, but the uptake of these new solutions is poor. And so now we say we need systemic innovation, and there our organization comes into the play. It's the International Association for the Advancement of Innovative Approaches to Global Challenges, IAAI. It's a UN-accredited civil society organization based in Klagenfurt, in Kärnten, in Austria. And with this, our civil society organization, which is some kind of social architects of this institution, we are building the Global Challenges Action Empowerment Ecosystem GLOCHA, which is a multi-stakeholder partnership. It's not only IAI, but we are trying to build an ecosystem and partnership where everyone who works on these topics can come in, join, build together the solutions, contribute resources, and get then the rewards and being co-owners of the institutions, the infrastructure, and the impacts that we are building. And so the vision is that we empower everyone everywhere to take meaningful and rewarding climate action. And we have a very central focus on the knowledge as the key ingredient and success factor for deep socio-economic transformation to low carbon societies and economies. And digital tools and the underlying data architecture is really the ingredient and the formula to success. We have the vision that with we can led by my organizations, GLOCHA, and also with the Climate Change Coalition, that we can drive digital innovation for youth and citizens, climate action empowerment, that we can build the data and digital innovation ecosystem and tools for citizens and youth climate action empowerment. And here on the pictures, you see on the one hand, there in the right upper corner, it's the Lake Wörthersee and the University of Klagenfurt, where we are envisioning a global competence center, research, technology development, and cultural center. And so we're building this institutional infrastructure. And on the other hand, you see down there an app, because we think that to get everyone empowered to take action and inspired, we need to reach people on their mobile phones. So we are saying we need to be on everyone's mobile devices. And this is a big endeavor. And there are dozens, if not hundreds of players who can contribute parts of these solutions, and together we are strong. And as regards this uptake of Web3 technology, blockchain technology, in which the Climate Change Coalition, where I'm strategic director, is the leading and the oldest network. And I'm delighted that on the call is also Alex Paris from the UN Global Innovation Hub, who might perhaps also add some information about what they are planning at the COP. So the UN has understood these potentials, and they have then said, please form your own self-organized multi-stakeholder partnership. And this we've done. We've had then a digital innovation community meeting and press conference in December 2019 at the COP25 in Madrid. And we've been also present there at the COP27 in Egypt. And this year and last year, we've had for the first time a Digital Innovation Pavilion to bring digital solution providers to these processes, to this global gathering of organized by the UN, and that the digital solution providers can meet with the global climate governance community and also with the global climate action community, and especially also with young people. And we see that the COP28 is our big window of opportunity, because the UAE government, UAE COP28 presidency has a very strong focus on innovation and technology as a horizontal priority, which is important for all these areas of the presidency and the UNFCCC process. And we have been in Dubai since early 2022, and we've been at the MENA Regional Climate Week, then in March last year. And we are partnering with the Slovenian Ministry for Economy, Tourism and Sports. And now we've been also at the Future Blockchain Summit in Dubai in October. And we've presented these solutions also at the UN headquarters in New York in September here. And so now, what is the Digital Innovation Pavilion? Where is it located for those who are planning to be in Dubai? It is in the blue zone, and here you see down there, it's a very provisional map, which I've taken from a Finnish pavilion, because we didn't get yet the signage and the floor plans properly. But the point is that in the blue zone, there's if people come from the metro station, you go first through the Dubai Exhibition Center on both sides, and then there are these streets or avenues down on the left, and there's the opportunity petal, and there will be temporary structures for thematic arenas, and we are in the thematic arena 3. And this is the biggest thematic arena. It's for industry, energy, and some other topics. And there we will have 50 square meters. And here you see our partners of the Digital Innovation Pavilion. This is the branding, which is now being printed, and it will be placed on the walls of our pavilion. So the hosts are my organization, IAI Glotcha, and the Climate Change Coalition. Co-hosts are Evercity, the HBAR Foundation, it's the Hedera blockchain ecosystem, and then KPMG, this big global consulting company. The lead partners are the Linux Foundation. BQ9 is a company of Irina Karagiao, who is our co-director, co-coordinator of the Digital Art for Climate initiative. Then Air Impact is one of the partners. And Visa, SAP, Binpong, and Context Labs. And here you see down at the bottom of the page is the address of the homepage of our pavilion, glotcha.org/COP28DIP. And at the bottom of that page, you will find the event scheduling page, the link to an Excel sheet. And there we will see that we have thematic days. For instance, the 1st of December is Data and Digital Innovation Infrastructure Day #1. The 2nd December is Africa Day. 3rd December is Finance and Carbon Markets. 4th is Multi-Stakeholder Cooperation Day. 5th is Data Science and UN Partnerships Day. 6th is Cities Day. And then 8th is Youth and Digital Art for Climate Day. And then on the 11th, we have the Mass Mobilization Day. And you are invited to have a look, and you can, even if you are interested, and we would appreciate if among the younger members, there would be also musicians or other competence holders and people with talent, that we could perhaps also have in the evenings, perhaps some sort of small concerts, gets together, open mic or whatever. That so we are very open to hosting YOUNGO-led activities. And what I wanted to highlight in this my short presentation, and then I will already finish, is that this slide, that we are not here only to provide the space, but we want to really be driving solutions as regards youth and citizens climate action empowerment. And we have the aim to be the leaders in developing tools for local SDGs and climate action. We have presented this already at the event at the UN headquarters in September, and we will now also put these solutions that we are working on into a submission to the consultation for the summit of the future of the UN. It's the most important conference of the UN system in the coming year, 2024, in September. Secretary General is calling for really a shift in global multilateral cooperation. And we have there these individual climate action and SDGs action app as a contribution, and also local pacts for the future, and the digital art for climate, art competition and music competition. Part of this app is also a Global Challenges Action ID, and also a Global Challenges Action Registry. And the third element here, okay, Global Challenges Action Registry, yeah, and the ID. These are key elements which will help the global community to better localize challenges, actions, objects, and action outcomes. Yeah, and on the 5th will be a big day, Data Science and UN Partnerships Day. My colleague Hossein Hassani is also on the call. We will present there our Global Challenges mapping app, and also the MOU between IAGLOCHA and UNEP about citizen science and youth engagement in the context of the UN World Environment Situation Room, early warning for all, and the One UN Geospatial Information Network is planned. We will also have an MOU signing with UNIDO, the Global Cleantech Innovation Program. And then we will, on the 8th, we will present also how this kind of new tools, the app and the Web3 technologies and digital art for climate, how this can be used for innovative climate action learning and digital skills development. Because if we want to have a mass mobilization and everybody engaged, we have to come into the formal and informal education processes. And our solutions, which we have presented at the UN High-Level Political Forum in July this year, in the SDGs learning session, we are quite convinced that this can be transformative. And then there will be a launch of the Co-Creating the Future Music and Art competition, and a preparation for a co-creation festival here in Austria, and the last week of May and first week of June, and then an entertainment concert event in New York there in September next year. Christina Stevens is with us, who is leading on this task. And yeah, this is an overview of what IAI-GLOCHA is, what our plans and opportunities are in the context of the COP28 Digital Innovation Pavilion. And thanks again for this opportunity to present this. And I'm very much looking forward to start an exchange of ideas and learn from you, and to see what kind of suggestions or ideas you might have.
Thank you so much, Miro. It was great also hearing about the opportunities for youth. And also right now it will be amazing to hear from Melissa, because she has been a Digital Innovations Pavilion partner and representing youth at this work, specifically she will tell us more about the projects that they have already going on, that they have had at previous COPs and at this COP specifically. She's a planetary health scientist, she's a journalist and an activist as well. So yeah, we can hear more from her now.
Thank you, Shannon, and thank you everybody for being here with us, sharing this great opportunity that COP28 will bring us. As Shannon already said, I have been part of this great initiative along with Miro Polsa, which I'm very thankful for to him for including me in this great project. And what we want to do is try to make more people, especially from the youth, to participate with us through art, enhancing climate action. What we want to do mostly, it's so they express themselves on what they feel, what they think about the climate crisis, how the solutions can be possible all together with partnerships. And I was very lucky and fortunate to participate with him organizing the all the previous workshops before the UN convention at the New York headquarters this past September. And well, just by collaborating there, by being with people who think the same, that have the same vibe, and that want to enhance this expression of who humanity is and what we can do, the possibilities we can bring through art for climate action and climate solutions, is just like a great honor to be part of. I don't know if you have any specific questions about it, but pretty much what I can say is that it's a great experience to be working with people who think the same. Hopefully, we will make this movement greater and broader, especially now with at COP28 in Dubai. We are wanting more people to join the army of climate action through art. Thank you so much, and sorry that I'm on the subway, but always here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Yeah, it will be great if you can share with us more about the Digital Art for Climate call. I don't know if it is here, when it will open, and if we can share it as well with the participants in here, just to know, yeah, how they can involve at COP, and yeah, then hear more about their opinions.
If I am not mistaken, the call for opening the reception of works will be at COP28, Miro, if I'm not mistaken, or we cannot hear you.
So we will exhibit artwork from the past two competitions at
from
our
last
pavilion.
year, exactly.
Yeah, and we will also have artists from the UAE. It's Arts for All Center Sharjah. It's they are working with disabled artists, artists with disabilities, and they will be with us on the 30th. And there will be also other artists. Amrita Set, who is also a UAE artist. Irina Karagiao, our Digital Art for Climate co-coordinator, will have a series of talks, co-creator community talks at the pavilion, which will then be also broadcasted. And we will have also somebody from Nigeria who has approached us, and we said we will provide the time slot to give him the opportunity to present his artwork and his views on how art can help raising awareness about these topics, also in the African continent. And on the 8th, we will then have in the morning a workshop in which we will design and specify the details of the art and music competition for the new edition of Digital Art for Climate. We are now, it's somehow the COP28 edition, but it will be focused as an engagement opportunity for the Summit of the Future, which will be next year. So the topic will be co-creating the future, visions of artists and young people about the climate safe future and global cooperation, more effective global cooperation, articulated in the form of visual art and music video clips. This will be launched on the 8th at the press conference at 1:30 in the COP28 Blue Zone.
That is great to know. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful opportunity for youth interested in art and the intersection with digital innovations, and also for youth in general. And right now, I would like to hear from Jen, because he also will have a presentation at Digital Innovations Pavilion. So he's like an example of how it will be that the work involving youth is going forward, and also showcasing the opportunities that YOUNGO and youth in general could have involving around digital innovations and specifically this pavilion. So yeah, now we will be hearing from him, which is the finance and markets contact point for YOUNGO.
Well, thank you so much, Erica, Chananine. And it's great to see so many familiar faces. Mel, Alexis, or not his face, but it's good to see you in the call. Thank you so much, Miro, for this opportunity as well to come and say hi and tell what are we going to be doing together and trying to find synergies with the work that we do as a constituency, especially on the agenda of defending intergenerational equity. So not just on the resource part of having a habitable planet, but also having the conditions that enable us to prepare for the challenges that are coming forward, and in a way that we can count with the means to implement our ideas and create resilience in our territories. So yeah, first to talk about a little bit on YOUNGO, which is going to be focusing a lot on what is going to be the global stock take this year. So a lot of good opportunities there to have language and the negotiations that talk about innovation, talk about capacity building. It's possible to have this kind of conversations and to use our platforms as the discussions, the high level discussions that we're going to be having in order to find synergies in these events. There are amazing cases of youth innovators that are deploying right now interesting projects regarding Internet of Things, Web3, blockchain technologies, artificial intelligence assistants that also can be focused in climate action. That's one of the ideas that we were exploring with Chananine this past month. Also, how can we use this leverage on these technologies to accelerate action? And I think this is a very interesting challenge that we can all work together to solve. So yes, one of the other questions, but I think that these are some of the things that we can continue to work on, and I'll be happy to be there and support as a kind of a mycelium, a youth mycelium, so connecting what is needed to who needs to receive this information and find ways that we can collaborate together.
Yes, many thanks, Genaro. Yeah, I think it's great that we can make this collaboration, this contribution with YOUNGO as well, being like the representation of all youth at the UNFCCC. And yeah, I think it will be great to find these synergies, as you said, as well, and to think about the possibilities as well, being at COP. And so yeah, to know more about this work that we could be doing and the partners as well. And now I would like to hear from Ethan Green, which is also a team member for the Digital Innovations Pavilion and representative for Here for Earth. And yeah, so we can hear from him now. I think he's already here. So yeah, thank you so much.
Hey, sorry I'm late, guys. I had a little bit of confusion about the meeting. Yeah, maybe just quickly catch me up a little bit on the format of the conversation so far, and I can know what to dive into for my side.
Let me briefly explain too, because so it is about the Digital Innovation Pavilion. I had an introduction about our solutions that we have developed and that we are working on, the individual climate action app, and how Web3 technologies can be used for innovative climate action learning, and also our art and music competition and the plans for a festival, and that we can there with these tools help young people and their local communities and global thematic communities to deliver better results. And I've suggested that you join this call also as a speaker, because we are discussing how this kind of efforts and also it was a part of my introductory presentation to say that we are aiming big. We are aiming to be the leading multi-stakeholder partnership and institutional ecosystems for different solution providers to find a place, find a community, find an enabling environment to mobilize together more effectively the resources and to be more effective. And here you are working on this kind of solutions and white papers and business models thinking. So if you could tell a little bit from your perspective as a young person, where you see the deficiencies and the challenges from a young person's perspective, from a young entrepreneurial person's perspective, and from what you have learned so far about Glotcher. And we are bringing you to Dubai to be with us in the pavilion and to co-shape the programs there, where you see the opportunities. This kind of.
Yeah. So Miro and I met in Dubai a couple weeks ago for the GITEX convention. And I was mainly there talking about the intersection of youth engagement in various causes. You know, I have an organization and a platform called Here, and it's based around the question, what are you here for? So unlike a lot of projects that might be cause specific, where it's, you know, climate crisis, human rights, social justice, these kinds of things, my platform, basically, the idea is I want to address the underlying shared theme across maybe Gen Z and everyone for that matter, which is the existential dread that we all feel towards anything that we care about on a global scale. And so the idea is we basically create events, concerts, content, and technology that help young people to take action around the causes that they are here for. And my approach on that is very tied to sort of the ethos that a culture cultivates what it values. And depending on the people that we look up to in culture, we as consumers or as replicators and creators, curators in the digital and physical world sort of cultivate the values that we see other people generate. So I'm very intrigued by the idea of caring about something that's bigger than you, making that culturally relevant. How can we make it easy and sort of integrated into our normal digital, social, consumer, and political relational habits? How can we make the causes that we care about be something that's really integral to those sort of daily actions that we take? So I'm expecting to meet a lot of people and have a lot of good conversations, and also hopefully be able to talk on the idea of building hyperlocal community around causes. My main angle is focusing on either cities or towns, communal governance sort of ideas, and trying to figure out how to make these large global problems that we all worry about, how to make them more approachable and make it an opportunity to connect with people locally, find people that share your values. And the vehicle for doing that is through cultural engagement, whether it's content or music or art, and technology gets to act as sort of the railway that can help people achieve that. So I'm hoping that I can, be able to talk about that a little bit on a broader scale, more than, my project or anything, but sort of what, with Glotcher's goals, and as ambitious as they are, basically trying to figure out what those underpinnings are, and just have a really open discussion and a broad perspective on how we tie in all these different tools to make something that is interpersonally actionable, I guess, is the word that I would use.
Bravo.
Thank you so much, Ethan. Yeah, I think it's really important what you said. And I think COP28 will be like this moment where we can think and innovate and showcase all these good opportunities and projects that are going on, and specifically the ones that GLOCHA is helping achieve. And so, yeah, I think it's really important that, yeah, the youth that is in here and the youth that will be at COP can know more and can involve with you guys, because it's like yeah, it will be, I think, like another step towards achieving a climate neutral future. So yeah, I think yeah, on the event as well, you can learn and yeah, know more, and also check the websites for the different projects that are already going on. And also I can share with you after this meeting, like the different projects where you can also see more about the details of them. And yeah, I would like now to open the floor for questions for the from the youth in here. And yeah, to know about your perspectives, and yeah, if you have any idea as well, I think we'll be all open to hear it. Yes, Yen, please.
Yeah, if anyone wants to come in first, I'm happy to be second, since I already had the opportunity to speak. But if not, I can just, I wanted to be a little bit critical, of course, not personally saying anything against your work, which I find is amazing. But also about like general side events that we see. The just to get an idea on mind, that sometimes we bring so many showcasing and we bring so many things there to the table, but do less about the working together towards finding common pathways to go forward. And what would also recommend, maybe if we can find some time, or maybe you already thought and I haven't looked very good at the program, is about actually having some kind of workshop, sometime, or like when you get questions and breakout rooms and things of, for example, how can youth projects that we know we have 5,000 youth projects that we map with our organizations that are replicable, that have theories of change, the specific things that they want, the youth wants to move with culture, but there are lack of like capacities and enabling environments to enable to replicate this knowledge in a way that you don't have to go through a whole university career to be able to understand and replicate something that is already a solution that is there, for example. So like there's things that could pop up that maybe we're not seeing, that we can kind of like come together to find a way forward that maybe could lead to you know, really systemic changes. And I think that we're all here for that, and it will be interesting to see this kind of spaces as well to happen. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, just one little grain of salt.
Yeah. If I may just briefly share here the screen of the agenda, and that you see here, there will be one of the workshops is the role of digital innovation youth empowerment with Ethan, and there we really have the aim to develop something concrete, concrete solutions, white paper, the business plan, like solutions that then our activities and programs will be something that people can invest in. Not only money, but also time and efforts and intellectual resources. And this will be one of the concrete workshops. We will have then on the 8th also a series of workshops. In the morning, 9 o'clock, we will invite potential team members and partners for a GLOCHA co-creation festival, and our programs for the UN Summit of the Future, especially also the edutainment show. And we have on the call also Christina Stevens, who might want to say a few words about her plans and perspectives on this. Then we will have a workshop about this Web3 technology-based innovative climate action learning and digital skills development. We will, this is also a hands-on workshop about a super app ecosystem, because this kind of challenge or need that we have to educate people, we have to give them tools that they can document what they are doing, and that this is then being evaluated and certified and rewarded. This is a challenge that have cities, companies, schools, everybody who is thinking about individual climate action and SDGs action comes to the end. He or she needs an app, and it's a too big a task that everybody could do it alone. So we have to look how we can build a consortium, a multi-stakeholder partnership. And this is then somehow the framework for a super app, where we are saying that people solution elements for digital identities, solution elements for digital finance, for registries, for social networking, for educational micro-credentials and gamification. And this kind of elements are then all in an ecosystem where then the different app developers can pick up solution components which are all interoperable and can speak to one another. So this kind of super app workshop will be there. So we really don't want just to have a talk shop. We want to really develop and make progress there. A big topic that we want to develop also there is local pacts for the future in the context of the UN Summit of the Future and also in the context of the EU Climate Pact. We need to build new communities and new give and get relations with a focus on the common good. And Web3 technologies can help there with smart contracts that we really specify and code the commitments of people and also the associated resource sharing and investments. Yeah, and we will have just these were just some examples, because the 8th of December is, in my understanding, our most interesting day for young people to join us and to really be co-shapers of the futures, co-creators of the futures with this. And just to mention here, as I'm in this agenda right now, we will have on the 5th also very important sessions, and one of the sessions is being led by my colleague, Dr. Hossein Hassani, who is our director for data and technology and also working for IASA part-time. It's the International Institute for Applied Systems Analysis. And there we will talk about data-driven solutions and also present our challenges mapping app. Also Hussein, in case you would like to add some words about this. Yeah, so giving back now. I hope that it answered your question, if it will be a little bit more action-oriented than usual.
Thank you, Miro. If I may have the floor, Chairwoman, may I say a few words? Thank you, colleague and innovator. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. In addition, what my colleague Miro said, we know that the old policy and whatever the policymaker are doing, or even citizen, is based on the fact and figure, and the fact and figure is about data. And through several discussions that we had with many organizations, including UN, and the journey that Miro shared with you and IAGLOCHA had, that there is a lack of enough information to make impactful, how can I say, impact to the societal impact and also decision-making impact. And one of the key point that the app of GLOCHA and the contribution, I would say, to the environment and the filling the gap is this app that we are creating and available to citizens, because that's enable and empower citizens that they can contribute not only their voice and concern, but also the solution to the authority. So So far, what we are seeing is top-down approach, meaning that the all decision made in the decision body in headquarter or organization from the top, and then comes to citizen. While we know that everything should be handled in the hand of citizen to be more impactful, because we are the one that we are taking care of the human, we are, and also environment, and then we need to be involved. Yes, we heard a lot about the involvement, where, for example, my colleague mentioned here about youth. We hear about lots about citizens, how we can engage and involve them, but lack of enough information and data and the way and tools and means so far is seen. That's why we have this privilege to be part of the great initiative in the Europe, which is energy transition. And our app for the first time is kind of tackling this issue. We hope that not only this project that we are involved, but also to expand this initiative. And I invite all of you to look at the approach that we have, the app that we are developing, to look at the way that you can use it, and we would be more than happy and glad to support you. So far, we have received a very positive feedback from the UNIDO to expand this in a different way. We have received recently positive feedback from YASA that how we can use it for disaster risk management. And I'm sure your great innovative idea can be another usage for this app. I would like to stop here. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much as well, Hussein. I think that was also great to know. It is, yeah, a truly important time, as you said. And yeah, I don't know if there are any other questions and more comments. I believe that the work that is Jen, yeah, the questions as well that you raised.
No, just adding up on Hussein intervention, which I found is very straight to the point, because when we're also negotiating and we want to bring forward the example of youth, we're working on the agenda of increasing or enhancing access to climate finance for youth-led projects. What happens, like investors or parties that are designing their NDCs, or they're designing the investors that are designing plans, and they have certain risk appetites. If we don't have the right amount of data of proven success of things that are working, and thinking of like very systemic ways where we have double feedback loops on social ecological systems, for example, that is very hard to measure, and this is the same problem that has nature-based solutions, for example, and it's so this challenges are very intersectional between all the different agendas. And I think that if we can find ways to innovate through technology, to gather data through the citizen action, we can really build a strong case to bridge the gap of what is actually missing for the next global stocktake. We're going to be discussing the global stocktake but it's only parties and institutions and big companies and big universities. But what about all the local actions the citizens are doing on ground, building resilience, mitigating greenhouse emissions? Those are not counted. So we have a really big gap on understanding actually how much are we doing as a society to implement the collective progress to all these agreements that we're doing collectively. So Mel, maybe you have also something to say about that.
Well, actually complementing on what you were saying, and just speaking about the information, the lack of information we have, or the very restricted information that we have. Maybe it is available, but it's not available for everybody, which should not be the case, because technology was created to help humanity and to ease life of people around the world. So what a better way to use it for our own benefit, and this time for fighting the climate crisis. And we were discussing exactly this a couple of days ago about these early warning systems enhanced by technology, and that unfortunately some of them are not available for all countries, for all nations. And Erika cannot let me lie on that. We are both from Mexico, and because of this lack of early warning systems, we could have avoided having so many losses of life and so many losses of biodiversity and nature due to the Hurricane Otis that hit Mexico a couple of days ago. So we want to be sure that youth who are going to inherit and have the responsibility of driving the world in a couple of months, in a couple of days, years, who knows, to be able to use this data correctly, to have access to it, so they know what to do with this data. And another thing that I forgot to mention, sorry, was that through the a bit apart from the data, but to have access to express ourselves through art, and the better way to expand the proliferation of these artworks through networks of online platforms and through digitalization, also to make it available for future generations, for it not to be lost, to reflect what we are experiencing now, what we are feeling now. A way to express ourselves through art is a way to cope with this famous eco-anxiety. So if we can do it through art, and that can lead to real climate action, if maybe an artwork really gets to the guts of a decision maker, then maybe something that can be transformed. So let's start from there. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you so much for all your comments. Yeah, I believe that what you all have said really address the need that we have to involve everyone and every ideas and every sector, every people to really address the needs that we have with the changing climate. And yeah, I believe that then the great opportunity that we have right now in the Digital Innovations Pavilion is to maybe hopefully YOUNGO as well to join the workshops, to join the events, knowing that we will also be involving youth, indigenous youth. We're going to have a panel on digital communications on indigenous communities. So yeah, we have we can continue all these conversations and all these ideas at COP, at the pavilion. We hope to see you all in there as well. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining, and yeah, everyone for being here. Yeah, if there are no more questions, I believe that we can continue this work and hopefully see you soon in Dubai to keep on going. Oh yeah.
Mute myself. I would just like to briefly, because I see in the list of participants also Hava Taylor Diallo, and she's the head of the civil society unit in UN Department for Global Communication. And I would, if Hava would agree to say a few words about the Department for Global Communication, I'd like to invite her, because YOUNGO is youth engagement in the UNFCCC process. But this is only part of the UN. It's sometimes we say it's a bubble, and but the UN system is bigger, and the Department for Global Communication has the aim to integrate all the UN systems efforts in outreach, and therefore it's good that the YOUNGO members also meet Hava and to learn about the existence of the Department for Global Communication. And we are proud that we are an associated NGO to the Department for Global Communication. Hava, thanks for being with us. If you could say a few words, that would be much appreciated.
By all means, Miro. Greetings, everybody. So happy to see everybody online. Unfortunately, I won't be there with you at COP28, but we'll be there in spirit. But I do have a lot of NGO partners like Glocha and lots of youth who will be there representing their NGOs. So definitely, Miro, I'll make sure that the various people get in contact with you. So I am managing the work of the civil society unit in the Department of Global Communications, one of the two UN bodies that has a mandate to affiliate or credit NGOs to have a special relationship with the UN. Many of you may be familiar with ECOSOC, and your NGOs might have a status, a consultative status, but many NGOs, including GOCHA, have a association status with the UN. And, you know, DGC, as we are commonly known, is an information outfit. So we're looking for NGOs who have a advocacy capacity to promote messaging of the UN, whether it's on climate change, it's on gender equality, or meaningful youth engagement. The work that we do varies from associating NGOs and working with them to be information redisseminators. And I personally am interested to reach people who the UN doesn't normally get to, who have invisible voices, invisible faces, who maybe sometimes don't even know what the hell the UN is or what the SDGs are. That really is a focus of the work that I do. So I'm working a lot with NGOs, but especially with youth-led organizations. I run a committee, a steering committee of young people who have been selected through a nomination process to help us create, you know, programs that make sense to young people. I don't pretend to sit at my desk and think that I know everything, because I don't, or what young people are saying, even in Sierra Leone, where I come from. So working with this group of young people, and some of them will be in Dubai, to really create, you know, programs that matter, and programs that are created really by young people, and really doing my best to be in the background, really to just give that support in, you know, crafting it sort of in it with a UN slant, but really keeping that integrity of the needs and concerns of young people. One of the things I do is I do a lot of events, advocacy events. I have a couple coming up. 5 December, I'll have something on HIV/AIDS, unmet needs in treatment and prevention, stigma. It's in person. We are, I want to say, slowly coming back to in person, because many of us have gotten used to being virtual. But it will be live stream also on UN Web TV and YouTube. The biggest news
if I may
is that,
just briefly, if you could briefly focus on the UN Civil Society Conference in
yes,
Nairobi, and
that's
also
the next
Summit of
thing
the
I'm going to
Future.
say.
I
That's
think
the
is
next
most
thing
interesting.
I'm going to
for
say, that the biggest news is that after jockeying a lot, we are going to have the 2024 UN Civil Society Conference in Nairobi, Kenya on 9 and 10 May. We're kickstarting the planning of the conference. So we will have a town hall on 12 December. I'll share those links with Miro, because it's absolutely important for the voices of NGO, especially young people, marginalized, disadvantaged, that we don't hear from, to be in this conference. The whole idea is to work to see how the contribution and the voices of civil society can take front and center in the future, the Summit of the Future next year. So that's something to really look out for. I'm really happy because in 68 years, I'm ashamed to say, this is the first time we will have a conference in the continent of Africa. So we need to be there. We need to voice, you know, our concerns as people from the global South, working with people from the global North, and really making a mark into the space of the future of the summit. So I look forward to welcoming all of you guys to be part of the conference. The conference traditionally is planned by civil society. So, you know, you have a role, you have a say, make sure you don't get left out. There's nothing worse than complaining, but you're not there when the pot is being cooked. So we need to have everybody's voice, everybody's input. And I'll share as much information as possible. We normally have planning committees, and there's usually a youth planning committee. And in the 68 years, we've planned this with DGC, associated NGOs, but the conference is open to everybody. I know that since 2013, I've worked very hard, where 1/3 of the people who come to this conference are between 18 and 32 and really are visible. You're mainstreamed, but I think it's important to also take a lead in, you know, every aspect of the conference. So I look forward really to welcoming you there and working with you. I'm sorry I can't be a COP. Maybe next year, after I retire, I'll be there under Miro's banner.
Yes, you're welcome.
Miro's a good friend, a good partner. He's a champion of youth. I've worked with him for so many years. I'm always amazed in the great work that he's doing, and I know that I can count on him every minute of the day. So definitely working with him, you know that you are in good hands, and I know that you're championing and are really going to make a splash. I'm from West Africa, so I believe in doing things big and loud, but also to be impactful. So I look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much, Mira. I'm not going to COP, but I thought I'll be a busybody and come to the meeting anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hawa. Yeah, it was great to know about these UN processes and the upcoming conference as well. And yeah, thank you so much also for letting us know this. We also should stay all in contact, see how we all can improve each other's work. So yeah, thank you so much for this. And yeah, I don't know if there are any more questions, any more comments. If no, I think it will be great to end this great conversation and to keep it going forward the upcoming conference and online as well with everyone that will not be joining there, but we can still connect and keep working together. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, for your time, and yeah, let's stay safe and stay strong. Thank you so much.
And a big hand of applause for Erika Jananine for the great organization.
Thank you so much, Miro. Thank you so much for everyone.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
See
for
you
the
again.